A little bit. Alright, let me cut it down. Let me look around here.
You see this? She look good from this
Alright, I'm just gonna ask you some questions about your family and my family, you know. Really.
Well, now. Let me turn it, come on. Okay. Well, now, you know, my brother, he wasn't married to these girls' mother.
Alright, what's his name?
Gus.
What's his whole name?
Eugene. And his last name is Vance. We Vances.
Oh, okay. Okay. Alright. And what about your parents? What were their names?
Well, my mother was named Emma Love. And then she was in her second marriage.
Okay.
My father, my young Anna Morrison's mother, she was born when we lost our father, and she remarried. We have one brother, and we done lost all of them. Now it's down to me now.
Oh, okay. You the last one in your family?
I'm the last one in the family.
Okay.
And then I'm just sticking. Yeah.
Right.
I'm the last one.
Well, what's your father's name?
Eugene. Well, my oldest brother was named after him.
Okay. You have a last name?
Did he have a last name?
Yeah, your father.
Vance.
Okay, your father. Okay.
Was a Vance.
Okay. Eugene Vance is your father's name.
And my mother, she was a Mathis before she married.
Okay. And how about your father's parents? Did you know them?
Oh yeah.
What was their names?
Oh my goodness, I had one uncle by him and about 4 aunts. Now, this child should have known one of my aunts that baby. Did you know Maddie? Ain't Maddie?
I just heard the name. I don't think I
But you said you was young. Well, I had 4 aunts on my daddy's side and 1 uncle.
Oh, okay. Well, what was your father's parents' name? Like, what was his mother's name? What was your grandmother's name?
Oh boy, I was so small when she passed.
Oh.
But in a way, my father's name was, he was a Vance.
Well, you said your father's name was Eugene, right?
But his father.
Oh, his father. Okay.
That's where he got the Vance from his father. Oh boy, I just can't think right now.
Oh well, don't worry about it. How about your you said you don't remember your grandmother's name? No, your grandfather's name?
No, I was really small when he lost his parents. When he lost his parents, I was small.
Okay.
And when my mother lost him, I was about 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
And you see, Anna Marie's mother, when she wasn't born, she never did see her daddy. And you take, my daddy was Eugene Vance.
Okay. And your mother was?
Emma Mathis.
Mathis. Okay. Would you happen to know any one of their birthdays?
Oh boy, no. Oh boy.
Okay.
Sure.
Would you happen to know where they was born? Were they born in Batesville?
Well, now you take my mother's father. He was, well, in a way, he was an orphan from Georgia.
He was an orphan?
Where you see, he was mixed. His daddy brought him here from Georgia. And you see, but they never didn't know where. His mother was, what do you call it?
From New Orleans somewhere?
Oh, good.
Indian?
These people from African. What do you call them that integrated from over here? What do you call
slaves?
them? He was a slave.
Oh, that's what
He
you're
was
Oh.
a slave. And then somehow, I don't know where they got his mother from. She was a slave in his daddy's house. And you see, I imagine through this marriage, you know how these slaves is getting these black women in their house. He come up.
Hmm.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
My mama's daddy come up.
Mhm.
I imagine it was an argument. A black child done come up in my house. They brought him from Georgia to Batesville.
Mm.
And you see all of his background. You see, we just couldn't, check in all his background.
Oh, so his
He
history.
was his come from a slave.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
But you see, my mother, after he brought him, he was a small child. I imagine when this child come up, this wife wanted this mixed child out of her life, out of her house.
Mm-hmm.
He brought him here in Batesville. I imagine he had some people here in Batesville. He brought him here in Batesville. And he was a fine looking rascal. Oh, you all saw his hair. And you see he was mixed.
Okay.
And you see, after he brought him here, I don't know who he got to raise him.
Mm-hmm.
My mama never did go, she never did find out all into who raised him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about your father, right?
I'm talking about my granddad.
Your grandfather.
My
Okay.
granddaddy, my mother's daddy.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your mother's father. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This is my mother's father.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He was a slave. He come from a slave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
When were you born?
Oh boy, I was born in 1917.
1917.
July the
Mhm.
27th,
July 27, 1917.
1917.
And where do you fit in your family line? Are you the oldest, the youngest?
My brothers and sisters.
Yeah, of your brothers and sisters.
I'm the fourth one.
You the fourth one? How many of them were you?
7.
There were 7 of you all?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know all your, well, I guess you do. Can you name all your brothers and sisters?
Mm-hmm.
Start with
The oldest one is Gus.
Mhm. That's my mother's.
That's my
Uh-huh.
father.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
my
Now that's
father.
Gus. Now that's
That's grandfather.
Uh-huh.
the next one was a boy. He was named Lockwood.
Lockwood,
And then the next one was a girl. She was Maddie Bell.
Maddie Bell,
And then the next one was Theresa.
the rapper.
That's my sister. And then me, May Julia.
May Julia,
And then the youngest was Emma Jean.
and the Jean.
And then my mother had a son by her second marriage. His name was Willie.
Willie.
And he was a love.
He was a Love. Okay, that was his last name,
Was a
Love.
love.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow.
Now, who is Big Mama? I heard y'all say that.
Where,
Who is it?
that's my mother.
Oh, that's
They
when
called
y'all say
her Big Mama.
That's your mother. That's
That's
the
my
one.
mother. Mhm.
Oh.
That's my mother.
Okay.
They called her Big Mama, but in a way, she was their grandmother.
Who grandma?
And uh-huh.
Are you talking about your
And you see,
children?
Deborah and May Legion, now you see, they is my nieces. They
Mhm.
my brother's children.
Right. Right. Were you ever married?
Hmm.
Were you ever married?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm
yes,
asking. I don't know.
am. Oh yeah.
How many children do you have?
I have two.
You have
Two-
2.
two girls.
What's their names?
The oldest one is named Mary Jane.
Mary
She's in Colorado Springs.
Wow.
And my youngest daughter is in Detroit. Her
Detroit.
name is Origine.
Origin.
Now my oldest daughter have 1 boy,
Mm-hmm.
and my youngest daughter have 3 girls.
Okay. Okay. How about their father? Who did you marry? What was his name?
Well, my husband was named Jesse,
Jesse
and he was a Pratt.
Pratt. Okay, so their last name is Pratt.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. And you always lived here in Batesville?
No. I lived in, when I separated from husband, I went to Detroit. I live in Detroit.
You live in Detroit.
And then when my mother got sick, I come back and see after her. And so I'm stuck here.
Okay.
I come back and stayed long enough to lose all my citizenship in Detroit. I stayed here long enough to get too old to go back to get me a job. And I didn't want to be on my children. I didn't want to be on my grandchildren. And so I'm just stuck here.
Okay.
This the house she was in?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Okay. And what year? Do you know what year you moved to Detroit?
Oh,
And about
boy.
what year? Do you know why you moved to Detroit?
I just got confused and just left and went to Detroit.
Okay.
I just got confused. I was tired of with this man, and I just got confused and just left.
When you say you went up there to work,
I
what type of
went
work
up there
you
to
do?
work. I was young enough to work. I
What-
got me a job and I worked.
What type of work did you do?
Well, different types of work. I worked different types of work. I was working in a factory because I did sewing. I worked in a factory, and then, just different, well, in a way, this job when I did, just different jobs. I worked in quite a few jobs while I was up there.
Okay. When you was in Detroit, did you, how was your relations with, I guess you could say, the public, as far as, how was you treated in the public? Was it fair?
You think when I was up there, I had a lot of relatives up there.
You had a lot of relatives.
A lot of relatives. That's why I went. That's why I went to Detroit. I had a lot of relatives. During the time then, it was good jobs. A lot of factories. Car factories. Oh boy, it was all kind of factories. And a lot of people left here in different places and went up there to get jobs. And I had quite a few kin people up there.
Okay. Would you happen to know about what year you went to Detroit?
It was back in the 40s.
Back in the 40s?
In the 40s.
Did you like Detroit better than Batesville?
Well, in a way, when you go to a strange place like that, you have to get used to it.
Okay.
I stayed up there long enough to have friends, go to church, visit my people, and well, okay. And well, after I got used to it, sure, I'd have been rather been up there. Oh, Detroit is a big city.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You see, I know my way around. I worked. I had my own money. But I never did tie up with nobody else up there. I was just a single lady.
You were a single lady? Okay. Could you tell us just a little bit about, the different places you lived in Detroit, about how you felt while you was living there? Could you tell us anything about that?
I lived on different streets, and then I was young, and then I would make friends. You have to make friends with people. Different streets you live on, you see, you have to make friends. And I lived on different streets.
Okay. Did you have any problems with like civil rights and things like that?
Well, it wasn't going on then.
That wasn't going on there?
Well, now, civil rights just started. I just said, in a way, how many years? Now, after World War II, when the boys went, Gus went to World War II.
Oh, he did?
He went to World War II. Now, my youngest brother went to the Korea War. No, he went to World War II. Both of my brothers went to World War II.
Okay.
When them boys coming back, it was an unfair deal with those boys. They didn't give them the rights and nothing. Them boys, when they come back, they had to get on these old buses, and they had a curtain between them.
Oh. And they go to the back of the bus.
Go to the back of the bus.
Okay.
The white in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they go to them stores, when they come back, they have to go to those stores to get more clothes because they stayed over there long enough. They didn't have clothes. It was an unfair deal. And you see, Martin Luther King was the first one opening it up for the people to relish.
Mm-hmm. Was this going to the back of the bus? Was it also happening in Detroit, or was it just happening here in Batesville?
Just happening here in Batesville.
And so it wasn't really like that in Detroit. It wasn't like that in Detroit. Wow. Okay. Have you been well, we call that it's called discrimination. Were you discriminated against at any time?
In Detroit.
No, not just in Detroit, but in Batesville also.
Because I was well known here.
Oh, you was well known?
Mm-hmm. My people's well known.
Mm-hmm.
All of my people's well known here in Batesville.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you didn't have any problem with any
I don't
no
have.
white
I
people
never
or
have
anything?
had any problem with white or black.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Huh. I heard that.
And then my neighbor's name is white.
Mm-hmm. Right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All up and down there where y'all come in there, it's
Mhm.
white. They check on us.
They come check on you.
Uh-huh, because ain't no black people in that, now, but me and Anna. It's another black lady on down before, a little below, but me and Anna Martin now is the only black in here. And they check on us. We have good white neighbors.
You do.
And then what it is now is giving somebody your respect. As long as you respect people, they'll respect you back.
Mm.
But now the black it ain't too much respect.
Mm-hmm.
You
that's-
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's the problem today.
That's the problem today.
Mm-hmm.
Young people don't hardly respect their parents.
Hmm.
Mighty few young people respect their parents. That's the way I feel about it.
When you say respect your parents, you mean just
Give you a smart talk.
they
Yank
talk
up
back?
in your shoulder.
Uh-huh.
You can't say nothing to me. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Why do you think they're like that today?
Well, the way I feel about that, years ago, older people were stricter on their children than they is now. Now, that ain't concerning your child, but I'm looking at other children.
Well, yeah, I understand.
They ain't respecting the church, the school, or nothing.
So do you think that by us going through the civil rights struggle, it freed up some rights? You don't think that had anything to do with that?
No, that's not it. I don't believe that's it.
You just think they have too much freedom?
They have too much freedom. Well, now what it is, parents is more able to get the children what they want. And it ain't never enough.
I think that's what it is too.
It is. It ain't never enough. You ain't never did enough for me. When we was going to school, we knew in the closet what we gonna wear. Now, children don't know what to wear.
They have too much in there.
They have too much in there. And then, when we was children growing up, when we went to the table, we ate what was put on the table. But now, children mostly eat what they want to eat.
They have choices.
Okay.
Excuse me, let me go in here and get a little more stuff. Well, now, what I'm saying, you correct me. Now, don't you think it's different in children now? Children get what they want sometimes and get something they don't need. But if I can get it, I'll just wear my pants and I'll just get it. Don't you think? How many children you got?
I have 3.
Well, now, you might be kind of strict on your kids.
Well, no, I'm not that strict. I'm taking advice right now.
Well, let's wait until I come back.
Okay.
things y'all want them. Not all the time. No. She say not all the time.
I'm gonna have to put you over there in that chair.
See, Andrea wants some more. That's what she say not all the time.
Now, this old stuff was brought to me. See this young thing? I don't know what this was. Well, okay. Now, you have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
One of these children ain't gonna be all of these 3 children. One gonna be in there, it's gonna be all, and you ain't gonna try to act right.
Hmm.
Now, what about all those children?
Hmm. When you say what about them?
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Why is gonna be a different one in there now?
Yeah, I know it is. I know which one you're talking about too.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's one gonna be in there. But now I know you can't talk, cause this one is here.
Andrea says it's not her
Well, I told you I was gonna get you when I come back.
Yeah. I have a question.
Okay.
Now
you ask me anything you want, cause you see, I believe I can answer both anything you want to ask. No.
When you was in Detroit, was going to school. You know, right now we push a lot on going to school. Was that
during the time then?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't mixed. The blacks had their school, and the white had their school.
Was that here or in Detroit?
That was in Detroit and here too.
That was in both places.
That was in both places.
Okay.
Well, okay, now Martin Luther King got all of this going.
Mm-hmm.
One school and the blacks and the children mixed together. But still, some of these white people don't want their children to go to school with the black kids. It's still public school. All white children. But now, these buses up and down hauling these children is white ones and black ones.
Right.
And you see, where it is, if the parents let the kids alone, them children will get together and mix with each other, play, have fun with each other. And all these games, black ones and white ones. Even down the ball game, black ones and white ones. All these singers, black ones and white ones. Even down the white ones want to sing like the black ones. Do you pay that in attention?
Yeah.
Even down when this afro come up, they ain't there trying to have an afro. Now they want to dress like they want to look like the black ones. And so that's just the way it is. They jealous of black people. And now, well, they ain't satisfied with this mix. But there's nothing they can do about it. Don't you think so?
Well, no, you can't. You have to be diverse. Right,
well,
you have to.
the black girl is after the black boy, the white boy, and the white boy is after the black girl.
Right.
There's nothing you can do about it. Not one thing.
Have you been to college? Have you went to college?
No, I didn't make it to college.
Have you? What's the highest? Did you finish high school?
I got this for the 9th grade.
You went to 9th grade.
But you see, during the time I was going to school, I went to a country school.
Went to a country
And you see, I lost a lot of days on because I had to walk to school. I had to walk around about, I said, 3 miles up to school. And then children didn't have good boots and clothes like they had now. And we had dishes and things to close where when it was raining like it is now, we just had to miss so many days. And so I'm kind of low in school.
Okay. But back when you was in school, 9th grade, was that considered a good grade to complete?
Well, it was a good grade then.
It was a good grade then?
It was a good grade then.
Okay. Do you know anyone that went through the entire school year? I mean, not school year, but went up to the 12th grade? You know anyone?
Well, yeah.
You know some of your friends?
I got nieces and teachers. cousins as teachers. I got gang of cousins as teachers. You see, over me, they had the opportunity to go to school. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got some educated people in my family.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember much of your childhood?
Oh, my gracious, I remember all of my childhood.
Remember all of it? Can you tell us about anything in your childhood that you particularly remember that made a real good impression on you? That when you think about it, you know.
Well, the only thing that I can make a good impression on when I was coming up, children went to the field. They farmed. They went to the field, chopped cotton and picked cotton. And so the only thing I can make was my mama and parents put me in the field and made me work. And then children then, they worked.
They worked.
And they know to work. And when they got home, they know their job. If this one washed the dishes, you wash the dishes. Well, anyway, then we had cows and hogs. But now, if you want to feed the hogs, the boys feed the hogs, and you wash this and you do this and you do that, and everyone knows their job. But now, children, this one don't hardly know his job. And now, you take great big old boys. They raising their big old boys now and got a lawnmower out there. You sometimes have to hire lawn to be mowed. Make that boy get out there and mow it.
Right.
If he don't want to mow it, he ain't gonna mow it. You hire somebody to mow it. That's what is messing me up. That's what making me mad. Because when we was coming on, we worked. And we know to work. And it wasn't money. But now anything they do is just money.
They want to get paid.
Paying.
Oh.
Pay him to do it.
What back when you was working? What was a good wage for a good day's work?
Well, things is kind of cheap then. Oh yeah, things is kind of cheap. You just work for what you could get, and it's different types of things what you would do. And then it wasn't too much work for grown people back when I come up.
When you say it wasn't that much work for grown people, but the kids had to work, but the grown what
But
are you
in
saying?
a way, most black people worked on the farm, and the children worked on the farm with their parents. It ain't been too long since black people could get a public job.
Okay.
You take, it ain't been too many years that a black man could go to the bank and get a loan. It was just that low.
And when this was going on, was that so common? Was it very common? Where it's just that's the way it was, and
Well, the way I can say it, black people ain't been too long was able to been up in the public. Well, in a way, what I'm trying to say now, black people has begin to come up on the top rail. They've been down under the low rail, but now you can see a black person on anything.
Okay.
And that's why the civil rights didn't want to go through, holding the black people down.
Oh, you mean that
You know,
segregation?
when the civil rights was through, black people couldn't vote.
Right.
Now, you see, they can vote.
Right.
That's why they didn't want them to vote. They wanted to stay down under the bottom rail. But there's nothing they can do about it now.
Right. Before the civil rights was challenged, what was your feelings? As far as did you think that it was unfair, or did you say, well, this is just the way it is, and this is the way it ought to be?
The way I felt then, that was just the way it is, and nothing been done to them.
But still, I mean, you really didn't know until someone showed you, well, this could be better.
But in a way, did none of us know until Martin Luther King brought it to light. He didn't like it about the way they were doing the black people by coming, serving the war, fighting for the United States, and then gonna bring them from over there from fighting, and then they gonna come from over there getting behind these curtains putting the black people back down and just like the United States didn't belong to them too.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Cause they stole the United States from the Indians. Right, right. Huh. Man, when Martin Luther King, when you hear about Martin Luther King, when you heard about him fighting for the black people's civil rights, did you support him or was you skeptical over what he was saying?
Well, you take when he come through Batesville with a march.
Mm-hmm.
He was marching different places.
Mm-hmm.
And in his marching, in his campaigning,
Mm-hmm.
they had a black woman to stab him. You remember that?
I remember he got stabbed.
Well, that was a black woman.
It was a black woman?
That was a black woman. And you see, both races just drug her down to nothing to just do that for a little money. You know, that was just showing how she felt about it. But you see, a white man paid her a little money to kill him. Well, you see, now, if you just look at it, white can get some black people to do anything they want them to do. Right there.
But
Right now.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your position when you heard about Martin Luther King? Was you skeptical because it was like a foreign idea, or was you saying, well, I know something have to change because I'm tired of living like this?
Well, during the time being, I just don't know how I felt about it.
Okay. Okay. Man. You know what year did you move? What year did you move back to Batesville to take care of your mother?
I moved back in the 60s.
In the 60s. That was one of those freedom years, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How what was going on with you during that time, as far as your new freedom? Because I know these civil rights was being opened up, the
Well,
rights
in
of
a
the black
way-
people was being opened up.
Well, in a way, I was back when this march come through in Batesville.
So that was in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
Why did you want to know all of this?
I'm just asking. I'm gonna show it to them. I want them to know where they come from. I want them to know from your point of view. I can tell them, but if you tell them, it's more important. It'll hit the spot, and so they can be more appreciative for the things that you went through and our people went through, so they can know I'm not just talking. So I need someone such as yourself to explain these things. But what was your mindset when you came back?
Now, I just can't realize, because in a way I didn't want to come back, but still it was my mother, and I come back and I see after her until she passed. And then after she passed, I'm just stuck here.
You're stuck here.
I'm just stuck here. But it ain't called that. Well, I feel that good over it because it's just ain't nothing I can do about it, not now.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I'm not saying nothing you can do about it, but I just want to know your feelings. How did you feel about moving back here? Was it?
I didn't want to move.
You didn't want to move back here?
No, I didn't want to move.
Okay. Was it more because you had created a living in Detroit and you was getting paid and you felt independent?
I felt like I was free.
You felt like you was free?
I was on my own. I felt like I was free.
When you back here in Batesville, when you say went to the market or something like that, did the people treat you?
Well,
badly?
anyway, I know just about everybody.
You knew just about everybody.
When I left, I was old enough to knew just about everybody was here.
Mhm.
All the stores and grocery stores and things. My people is well known.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no trashy people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have some up-to-date people.
Mm-hmm. They was
But now
respectable.
I just feel like Maylenian and Dimper, they ain't no piece of trash. They up-to-date people.
Oh yeah. 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 Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Could you can you tell me a little bit about Gus's personality, who he was?
Oh my goodness. Well, in a way,
Was he strong?
we on both sides, we come from mean people. We mean.
Mm-hmm.
We don't take anything. We don't let anybody run over us.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I get this
Mm.
Can you kind of figure out what I'm
I
saying?
know what you're talking about. 'Cause I know.
We're mean people.
Okay. When you say mean, I know what you're
We
saying.
just don't take anything.
Okay.
Stand up for yourself
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
when you have to.
Okay. So that's how my grandfather, my great
And
grandfather.
well, okay, these children, father, he was mean and well, he was all right until you made him mad. Mhm.
I know I forgot what city, Greenville? Did he stay in Greenville?
Well, that's where he passed it.
That's where he passed. Okay.
But anyway, his job, he was a soil tester.
Soy tester.
A soil.
Oh,
tester.
soil. So he go out and check the dirt.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, now, the dam, ready to go saw this dam, like the birds, and you see his job was check all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, before that dam burst, they had to fill that big place in. It was undermining, just like this earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
The dam like to have an earthquake. Because it washed all the, and they went up there and tested to see how much that it washed upon the land.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That was his job, and he made good money.
He made good money doing that. Was that in the 60s? Or no, my mom was born in 42. So was that like what, in the 40s or something like that?
I just forgot what year he passed.
Well, no, not year he passed, but you said he worked as a soil tester.
Well, now he got this job after he come out of the army, and World War II was in the 40s. I believe the World War II was in the 40s, if I don't make any mistake. World War II, I don't forget, but
Yeah.
in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
World War II was in the 40s. He served, both of my brothers served in World War II. And he got this job after he come out of the army. Mm-hmm. And that ought to have been some in the 50s.
That was in the 50s. Okay. Was he kind?
Was he kind?
Mm-hmm.
He was kind as long as you didn't mess with him.
I see.
As long as you didn't mess with him, he was all right.
All right. Since he was mean, did he get into many fights?
No,
He didn't have
but
to
he
fight
just
much?
didn't want nobody messing with him.
Yeah, nobody messing with him.
No. He will straighten you out now if you start to meddling into his affairs.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't kind when if as long as you stayed in your place.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And I know you say it was 7 of you all.
Mm-hmm.
How many boys and how many girls?
3 boys.
3
4
boys and
girls.
4 girls? What about your other brothers? How was their personality? Were they the same?
They were same.
They were the same way?
Mm-hmm.
So how about the girls?
They was all right until you started messing with them.
Okay, nobody mess with you all.
Uh-huh. But you think I'm all right until you started messing with me.
All right. Did you all stick together?
Well, sure.
You did?
We was raised to stick
You
together.
was raised to stick together.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And what does that mean to you when you say raised to stick together?
Well, it mean a whole lot. It was raised to stick together.
That mean.
And when one, made a mistake, the other one was there to kind of pick it up. We was raised to stick together.
Okay. All right. When you say was there to pick it up, do you mean that you grab the person and say, hey?
Just like it was a fight or anything, argument.
Mm-hmm. You step in and help your brother or your sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the way we was raised.
That's the way you were raised. Okay. Did you all ever fight amongst yourself? You ever argue with your sisters?
Sure.
You did? But
Sure we argued.
do you ever fight? You ever?
But in a way it was us.
Mm-hmm.
Sisters and brothers arguing.
Hmm.
It ain't quite a few sisters and brothers don't have arguments.
Do y'all get into a fist fight?
No.
No. How about your parents? When they discipline you, how do they discipline you?
Sure, get a switch and put it around your legs or put it around your behind if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Children don't get that now, but people got them switches and at your behind up,
Mm.
or either at your legs up.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, you know to mind them.
You know what's the matter.
But children don't get that no more.
Mm.
We got switches
Mm-hmm.
and a belt if you could find a belt.
Mm. You know, being young, you hear that if you got in trouble, even the neighbors had the opportunity to whip you. If
Well,
how about that? Did that ever
well,
happen?
in a way, during the time then, one neighbor helped the next neighbor with that children, but they didn't whoop them. They helped with that children.
They just hold
They
them.
looked out for the
Okay.
neighbor's children if they saw them doing something wrong.
Okay. Heard that. You have anything you would like to say as something from you to anyone who will see this tape of you in the future, as far as something that you think that they would
Well,
need
now,
to know?
what would you do with this tape?
Show it to them. And Marilyn kids, their grandkids, anybody who know you, anybody in our family want to maybe doing some studying, and say, hey, we got a tape of Aunt May
What
Jr.
did you go to school to do?
I'm an engineer technician, and that's what I went to school for too.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times you go to school to be one thing, and you wind up being something else once you get out there in the job market.
Okay.
Because you can't find work in the area that you went to school in. But I was fortunate to get a job in the field I went to school in.
Okay.
But is there anything you want to say to anyone in the future, as far as words of hope and inspiration?
Now, I feel like what I have experienced, all these questions you have asked, I have experienced all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, in my age now, well, all of that I have experienced it. And you see, now, it really ain't nothing that I would want to know, with my family. Because I feel that I know my family now.
Mm-hmm.
This child, she bring her children down here, May Lillian them. Well, in a way, when May Lillian them was young, small children, they was in and out of this old house. My mama Hope raised them children up. And you see, that's why they have care for me. I was here, helping with those kids. And they cares for me. And I'm proud of that.
Okay.
And so I don't think it's nothing now that, I would want to know.
One more question. How about religion? Where did that come in play with you?
What you mean about?
Were you?
Well, I'm a Baptist.
You're Baptist. Okay. How did that help you, or was it just?
It's just my faith.
It's just your faith.
It's a Baptist.
Your faith
Well,
is a
now,
Baptist.
it's different faiths.
Right.
It's so many different phases of religions now.
Yes.
It's done gone out of hand. It's too many different types of religion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go for all these different types of religion.
Mm-hmm.
It's one God.
Ooh. Okay.
And ain't no need of people looking at a car or a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Make pretend this is God and that's God. You see, different people worship different things. And their religions is different. Now, it's so many types of religions now. But I'm a Baptist, and I'm going to stay a Baptist.
Did someone have to teach you that, or you just know that?
It comes from my parents.
It's come from your parents.
All of my people is Baptist. Well, some of them, all of them is Baptist. Some of them is Methodist.
Some of them Methodist. Okay. All right. You got anything you want to say? Anything else? No, that's it. Did I bother you? You ready for me to
I
cut
just
this?
answered your question.
Okay.
But I'm just wondering, why is you going so far back
'Cause I
It's this
wanna
late
know.
day.
Hey, when you turned on, whenever you get started on a
Do
thing,
you think this gonna help?
it'll help me. I like to know where I come from. And like you said, your great grandfather,
Uh-huh.
you just
Well,
cut
now,
off.
my grandpapa come in here from slave.
Mm,
Well, now, they brought him from a little small child. This is my belief about it.
mm,
His mother was a slave woman working in this man's house.
mm.
And you know, men's always have been men's. You
Mm.
know that.
Yeah.
It was a mistake. Here I'm this mixed child.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get this mixed child out of my house.
So his wife told him that.
Now, that's me saying that.
Oh, okay, okay. But
But
you
in a
know,
way, they got him out. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened to his mother.
Mhm.
But they brought him from Georgia here in Batesville. And the whereabouts, after they brought him in here, I don't know who raised him, but they got somebody to raise him.
Mm.
And he, after he got up and grown, by him being mixed, you ought to saw that thing's hair.
Oh. Yeah, long.
Well, it was curly.
It was curly.
Curly. And I imagine when he was a small child, he was a beautiful mixed child. And then a lot of mixed children now is pretty.
Yeah, they pretty, but I think they got problems.
They should have a problem.
Mm.
They should.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Boy, that's pretty rough.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know who raised him, but he come from a slave. Now that's been years and years ago.
Mm. Wow. Hmm.
The way I feel about it, his mother was a cook or slave in this house. And when this child come up, you're going to get this mixed child out of my house. Now that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Well, back then, quite naturally it was a problem.
I mean, just not being able to be raised by your mother. You know, not being close to your people, being around strangers.
Talking about him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you think, I don't know who they got to raise him up, but he didn't have no other choice.
Right. Right.
No, he didn't have no other choice because he was never just a child.
Yeah. You have anything you want to ask?
No.
Well, I already introduced you, but this is
Well,
my
now,
daughter.
this is the older one or the youngest one?
And this is the baby. She's the youngest.
Oh my goodness. How old is she now? Huh? 11.
Hmm.
And you all live where?
We stay in Dallas right now.
Why she ain't in school?
They out for spring break
Okay. Well, now, how is it out there
in Dallas.
Mhm.
Oh, it's nice.
What
When I
else?
say nice, I mean it's a lot of mixed people there.
But in a way,
Hmm.
I have a lot of people in Texas.
Oh, that
A few years ago, they could go out there and get jobs, good jobs.
yeah, still going on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I have a lot of people in Texas.
that means I have a lot of people in Texas.
In
then.
Texas. Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, jobs got scarce here, and they go out there and get them good jobs.
Right.
Oh boy, I have a lot of people in Texas.
Hmm.
I know most you don't know any of them, but still, I have a lot of them.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how much time we got?
They get out at 2:20.
We got 2:20, maybe another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? I've been
I
asking.
told you now, I can help anything you want to know.
Alright.
Brother,
Okay. Well, I know that you said that once your marriage was dissolved, that you didn't get remarried. But from your years of experience in the family, in the family structure, you have a husband, wife, children. Um, do you think that the man's responsibility? What do you think his responsibility should be?
to work with his wife.
To work with his wife.
With his wife, and they cooperate together.
They cooperate together.
Uh-huh.
And
The man's supposed to cooperate with his wife, and the wife's supposed to cooperate with her husband in some things. If it's something that each other don't like, don't cooperate with it. That's the way I feel about it. Because one of them going stray one way and want things to go the way. But if it's a good deal, cooperate with each other. And then that's the way it is with the children. Don't teach one or two children the wrong way. Always cooperate with them children together. Sometimes the wife don't want the man to whoop the children. Sometimes the woman don't want the husband to whoop the children. But the way I feel about it, sometimes when I was married, I would rather do the whooping because the man is heavy-handed.
I see. He might hurt him. I see. He said, "Hold up now, I handle it."
Sometimes you'll be wondering, lay off of me. Crazy, but you can't say nothing. Stop it. You'll be saying it to yourself. Stop it. I just ain't never let the man to do the woman. The woman always want to. The woman always wants to. I always look for the woman to do the whooping. I don't never want the man to do the whooping. He too heavy-handed. Did you hear what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. Oh, yeah. I would prefer it that way. When I was young, I would let her do it.
I ain't never went for the man to do the whooping. Let the woman do the whooping.
The woman do the whooping?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
She'll lighten up on it. That man don't care. Just wobble, 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 wobble.
Okay. Man. Okay.
I think you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let the woman whoop the children.
Let the woman whoop the children.
Now, you raising children up that it don't take too much whooping for children.
No, not nowadays.
No.
I don't think it pretty much ever, really.
No, no, it
usually
don't take too much whooping for children.
Yeah, kids not usually really bad.
I got some pops in the refrigerator. You raise your one a pop, a cold pop.
She said she had to use the restroom.
Oh, Lord. I don't have a wrist. Oh, Lord.
Can you hold it?
That McDonald's or something.
You know, okay. Well, I think we're gonna have to be going because we gotta be back in Memphis by 2:00.
Okay.
But this
that
is
ain't.
that's
is that
about the
Well, after all.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I've been down here before, but I was real young.
You had to be. Because
Yeah, I remember.
That's the first time of me seeing you.
I think I was real young.
You
I remember.
had
I
to
remember
been real
being
young.
I remember you had some hogs and
Well,
some
in
chickens.
a way, we had hogs. In a way, my brother lived in this old house up here you just passed. He had all of that, but we had chicken.
Oh,
we
okay.
had, but he had passes of cows, hogs, and he had turkeys, just about everything. Because we was back out here in the country. And then he had tractors and farms. And you see, since my brother, he been dead now for about 15 or close to 20 years.
What's
You
his
see,
name?
it done growed up.
What's his name?
Bud. They called him Bud, but his real name was named Lockwood.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Cause I ain't never heard of Lala. I heard Bert.
Yeah. Yeah, they called him Bud.
All right. Who are these people up here? Some of your grandkids?
That third one is my oldest granddaughter.
You said the one on the far left, the top left.
And the one next to her is her daughter.
Oh, okay.
And these
How about the one underneath with the shirt on, with the collar on?
next to the curtain That's my sister's granddaughter. And now this graduating down below,
Mm-hmm.
now that's my first grandboy.
That's your
And
first
the rest
grandson.
of these little ones is
Mhm.
my niece's grandchildren. Now
Oh,
they
okay.
live in he live in Memphis.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
And now this one here
Mm-hmm.
is my youngest daughter and her husband.
How about this right here?
That's my youngest daughter and her.
Hmm. Okay.
Who's that? Like,
They still married?
Oh yeah.
They are.
Uh-huh.
They live in Memphis,
Detroit.
Detroit. Okay.
And this is who this. Nah, that's you just about don't know him. That's Ricky Brown's daughter when she was a baby. You don't know him. And now them is just some pictures.
pictures.
Some of them just pictures.
Just some pictures.
And how about
Them
this?
just is some pictures.
Okay. How about these two up here?
This one here
Mm-hmm.
is this boy done graduated
Oh.
when he was small.
Oh, okay.
And this one, this
The girl.
girl there, that's my daughter's youngest girl. She had 3 girls. This
Mhm.
is her youngest girl right there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.